Coming to you live on Warriors.com and Ustream, and getting a chance to get an exclusive interview with the newly acquired center, free agent center, Kwame Brown. Kwame, welcome to the Warriors.
Thanks for having me.
I know that you were a free agent and you had a lot of teams to choose from. What were some of the teams that you were considering?
Well, I mean, it was Boston, Miami, definitely Charlotte. I played well for Charlotte. I like the coaching staff there, but Warriors is an up-and-coming young team, with some great young talent, and I'm still a young guy, and they got better by 10 games last year, and I just want to be a part of an organization that wants to get better and want me here.
Well, I know that a lot of people were interested in you, and I also know what you did about Charlotte last year. You had a heck of a season for them. In fact, 66 games played. You started 50 games for Paul Silas, and it seems to me that Paul Silas is a very different kind of coach. He's a hands-on guy. He was a heck of a rebounder, and I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it seemed like he instilled some confidence back in your game.
No, he did what most coaches didn't. He didn't tell you to just go rebound. He tell you to play a complete game. You almost came out the game faster if you didn't shoot the ball and if you didn't carry the threat like an NBA player is supposed to. So I just went out there and let it fly.
I want to go back to when you were drafted. It's hard to believe, by the way. This is you're ending your 11th season in the NBA. It goes fast, doesn't it? Yeah,
I feel like a child star. Most people don't want me to grow up, but now I have kids of my own, and they all Google and YouTube and all that stuff. So, it made me very conscious of what I do, both on and off the court.
How many children do you have?
4, 2 boys, 2 girls. Yeah.
2 boys and 2 girls. You come from a pretty large family. You're, I think you're 8 kids in your family.
Yeah, I'm one of 8. Yeah.
And where do you fit in that?
I'm next to last. I have a little brother, and my sister is the oldest.
Next to last?
Yeah.
Well, then everybody took care of you.
No, everybody ran over me until I learned how to stand up for myself.
Well, at your height and your size, you learned to stand up. Is anybody else in your family as big as you are?
Well, all of my brothers are this size, and my sister is 6'6", believe it or not, and my shortest brother is about 6'5", so, everybody's pretty big.
I want to go back to, as I mentioned, 2001, where you came out of Glenn Academy in Georgia, High School Player of the Year down there. You were the first ever high school player to be drafted first overall in the entire NBA. And ironically, I believe Tyson Chandler went next out of the Los Angeles area, and then Pau Gasol. When you look back at that, I know you had a letter of intent to go to University of Florida.
Right.
Do you ever look back and say, gee, I wish I had not come into the NBA, had gone to college? Do you think your career would have turned out any differently at this point?
No, I believe I'm the type of person that believes that God don't make mistakes. So I know a lot of athletes are scared to say that, but I think not for just basketball. I think my maturation process has just helped me to become a man. So more so than on the court, off the court, I think it's going to make me a better person. I have thicker skin, and I'm more humble, and it just made me a more well-rounded person.
The reason I ask that because I'm not one of those critics to say what you have done or have not done. But when you're the overall #1 pick, expectations are there, great expectations.
Right.
Did that give you, as particularly at your age, 18, 19, did that give you a little bit more pressure? Did you feel the pressure early on when you're maybe not capable of handling all that at that age?
Well, I mean, you had the added bonus of having Michael Jordan there, so that took it over the top for his pressure. I don't think it allowed for the time for a young player to actually be young. So, I think if you look at it in the big picture, I would have probably progressed along fine. I mean, I don't make any excuses about anything, and like I said, I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm a Warrior now. I moved on from that.
Sure.
And like I said, it made me a better person.
What did you learn from Michael Jordan? What are some of the things that you learned from Michael?
Well, I mean, the thing that you really learn just by watching without him saying a word is his work ethic. I mean, he comes out, and that's just raw determination and natural ability that he has. I don't think anybody can match it. Whether it be Kobe or LeBron. Kobe's probably the next best thing to him. I played with him also. His work ethic is just like his, and I think those two type of players is just God-given ability.
People say that you're a terrific low post defender. I know that for a fact. I've seen you play many times. When you're going at the low post, who is more difficult to guard? Someone like Dwight Howard, or someone, a powerful player, or perhaps a more finesse center like Pau Gasol?
You can play a little more mind games with Paul Gasol, but Dwight, it's going to be a physical matchup the whole game, and I think before he learned a few more post moves, he was easier to guard, but now You know, he has that running hook, and he has a few more extra moves, and he's just so physical. I think he's harder to guard now than Paul is.
Have you talked to new head coach Mark Jackson yet?
No, not yet. I think guys had a day off, but you know, I
Right.
came in and got some work in and had to do my physicals. But I'll see him in the morning.
I know your agent talked to the organization. To whom have you talked to so far?
Not really anybody yet. I mean, I talked to the GMs and the coach, some of the coaching staff.
We talk about expectations. What are your expectations being a Golden State Warrior this year? I know you have a one-year deal, but I would suppose in the back of your mind you'd like to play and play well and help this team get better and perhaps parlay that into a multi-year deal.
Right. I mean, I just got to do the work. I have a lot of work to do and missing training camp and missing a lot of the summer with being a free agent and not being able to play basketball in the summertime. So right now I'm just focused on the work, and you know, I'm going to bring defense. I'm going to bring a physical presence to the game. But you know, to be the type of player that I need to be for this team, you know, I got a lot of work to do. So that's what I'm focusing on now.
Is that one of the